Yeah, I mean, we're working on everything. I mean, we can't, the nature of the game is you've got to stay current. You've got to keep working. And, that top of the crease mentality is something that we always will work on. And, just spacing in the offensive zone and just fighting for those loose pucks. It was the first weekend in a bit that we hadn't scored a power play goal either. So we've got to pay attention to the power play. And we did generate chances. We want to generate more, and we want to capitalize. But we also want to get some of those dirty, greasy goals just by, out competing people around the crease.
Can you talk about Notre Dame from a coach's perspective and what you saw and what makes their program like number eight in the country? I mean, that was a good hockey team that you guys had to play against.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's good. I can't say that Notre Dame was any more special than anybody else. They have good structure. They have good talent. I thought their goaltender, especially Friday night, played really well, and a night that the scoring chances were dead even. You just, when you're building a program, as we talk about, you can see what depth does. So like the second night, Notre Dame, their top line gets an empty net goal. But their second line got one and their third line got one, right? So you want to have that depth, and you want to have some experience, and you want to have some skill. And, we often talk in this forum about different teams and, the timing to get all of those pieces together. Notre Dame went to the national championship game last year. So they're on a high. They've got a very high belief factor. They've got depth in their program that leads to wins. And that's the path that we're heading towards. It takes, there's bumps in the road, there's ups and there's downs, and we've got to ride those out.
Having Laka back in the lineup too now and being able to really start integrating him more, is that nice offensively to have another weapon and utilize him more?
Yeah, and let's not forget, he's still learning. I mean, he's got 3 goals, I think 3 or 4 goals, and he's he's still learning. And we put a lot on his plate. We put the same with Leppinen, a lot on his plate, and Hallbauer, and those guys. There's a lot there. So our depth right now is young and still learning, but there's a lot of promise to what those guys are bringing. And when I listen to them speak in here, there's a nice positive tone to them. They understand, and they're pushing and want more, and that's very healthy.
We've talked about Hallbauer before, and like how you really like his work ethic and how he plays the game. Is there a lot of confidence coming from him right now? Do you see on the ice and what he's putting out there in production value?
Yeah, he had a game against Lowell that was statistically dominant. The first night against Lowell, where he broke pucks out. He was great in transition. He was good on the power play. I think just what we're seeing out of Kyle is just the ups and the downs. I mean, his ups are very high and his downs are very low. So we're trying to ride the middle ground with him a little bit more. But his skating and his IQ and his stick skills are exceptional, and we just want to keep putting him in a position to succeed and learn how to get through some quiet moments maybe a little more positively, and how to ride those high moments longer.
Owen had a really good game in net against Notre Dame too. Is it nice to see a freshman have that, a lot of confidence, and especially goaltending, which is such a mental aspect of the game?
Yeah, I thought he played really well. I think we had 10 freshmen in the lineup both nights for sure the Saturday night at Notre Dame. Owen's worked hard. I think what he's done is he's put a good challenge onto Linden, and Linden hasn't been his best recently, but he's also working through it. So that's what good teams do. We talk about that depth up front. Depth in goal is also very important, and how that Chase came in and played well in relief on Friday night. So that competition is healthy, and what Owen is doing is coming in and learning what it's like to play well and not win, and to play well and win, and how to get through those ups and downs.
And looking ahead, what's the mentality going into Yale and Brown in the ECAC games? And I'm assuming you guys don't look at those games as ECAC standings or anything like that, but what's the goal going in on the road against teams that you see quite often?
Yeah, we do talk about the ECAC is a little bit different. I mean, we're playing to win every game, but this is the standings. This is this is 2 points in the standings, and right now we're not an at-large bid team. Although our strength of schedule is in our favor if we can, roll off some wins here. But our focus is on Yale on Friday night. Our focus is on continuing to get better every day, and I've challenged our group to change our mindset a little bit. Let's not just go and play well and, oh man, we were close at Notre Dame. We've got to flip that script a little bit to play well and get 2 points. And you know, we're going to Yale, who we respect everybody. We know they're a good team, and we know that if we're not on our game, we won't win. But if we have a little bit more confidence, a little bit different mindset, we might go in there and come out of there with 2 points. So we've got to put that in our backpack as we travel. We can't just go in and wait and see what happens.
Coach, you guys have 3 players who haven't suited up for this team coming back in the next month or so. I know it's not on your mind for this weekend, but have you tinkered at all with how you're going to utilize some of the new 3 players?
Yeah, tinkered. We've tinkered. You know, we've had them killing penalties all year. We've had them sit in on power play meetings and get some power play reps for the guys that are on that, and everything 5-on-5. They're in the meetings as well. So, you know, we're going to have some time after this weekend to even put them in a little bit more, but they should be ready to go. And they're very hungry. They're very ready to jump in.
Me, Perry, and Lindo, we really push each other, and I think it was, you know, and playing in Notre Dame was obviously anytime you can play in a big atmosphere like that, it's unbelievable. And I was pretty happy with the boys, and obviously I think they felt comfortable with me in there, and I felt comfortable doing my job, and it was just an amazing experience to get in there. So
you feel that confidence in front of you too, kind of really. You know,
yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think the boys definitely, obviously, when you're in there, they can definitely feel a little bit more comfortable when you're making saves like that. Yeah, I think they felt comfortable with me, which is obviously makes me feel good. Obviously, coming in every day practice, working hard, and yeah, so I think the comfort level for them was good as well as it was for me. So.
You brought up the relationship between you, Lyndon, and Chase too. Is that a good relationship? You know, pushing each other because only one guy gets a spot, obviously.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's awesome, and I think that even started when we all came here in August and got things rolling. And I think the relationship really started to develop in the summer, and I think it just continues to grow stronger, especially every day on the ice when we push each other, especially whoever's getting that start, as the other 2 guys are working to get another start, and I think that just makes your goaltending battle better and your goalies better. So,
what's the day-to-day goal for the progression for you to kind of hold down that spot and, you know, improve yourself as a goalie, obviously?
Yeah, I think like a day-to-day, I think every day you come in wanting to work and treat practice like a game. And I think for me personally, I think that's something I've always strived for. And I think once you get a start, you don't want to lose that. Mm-hmm. So I think coming in, obviously this week is coming into our last weekend before Christmas break. I think everybody's feeling that same way, even the players. You're kind of, if you're in the lineup, you're fighting hard to stay in that lineup. I think that's something that can reflect in me as well.
What do you do kind of mentally when you're making saves and it's a 1-0 game throughout the Notre Dame game? You know, how do you keep a mental positivity there? Yeah,
I think obviously at the beginning of the game, it was kind of, I didn't have a shot for a little bit, probably like 5 minutes, and then they get that first one, which goes in. I think that's something where, as a goalie growing up, you just kind of learn how to be mentally tough, and you kind of mentally reset, and I think you just try to keep yourself over top of pucks and make those saves, and obviously you settle in a bit easier.
Was Notre Dame a big different atmosphere than maybe you're used to? I mean, it's got to be a little different.
Yeah, it was incredible. I think you know, all the college hockey arenas are pretty amazing to play in, but I think obviously going to Notre Dame, obviously Big Ten school, is something that, you know, when you're getting recruited and you see the schedule come out, you kind of circle that date on the calendar and kind of just enjoy the experience with the guys. And I think that was the whole week. We all enjoyed each other, and we had a long road trip and went to the Buffalo Sabres game. And I think that's just building our room relationship, which is really important. And then that turned into everybody enjoying themselves.
I mean, I think our team played very well. We just didn't score the goals. We need to get better a little bit more in front of their net, and maybe score some hard goals, some not very pretty looking goals, but the hard ones will push us forward.
Where do you think that starts kind of generating now? If there's just guys grinding and getting bodies in front and hoping for bounces to hop on sticks?
I think we didn't have much luck during these 2 games, and I think we could get like the tap-in goals, the rebounds, but we need to get in front of their goalie and be in front of him and be in the goal crease.
Been looking toward the weekend. Is that a big goal for you guys? Is to just kind of get traffic in front and really cause chaos?
Yeah, I mean, we had, I think, 70 shots in 2 games. It's a lot. Their goalie was good, but I think we are good enough to score against that goalie every 15-20 shots. We just need to execute our shots, and that's it.
Jacob, do you feel like you're gaining more and more chemistry with Hayhurst and Otto Ville, even through practice, not just games?
I think it's normal during the season to get more confident on the ice with players. You are playing more games with them, and I think it's much better than the first games. We are just missing those goals.
How did it feel, being sidelined for about a month, not being able to play at all, and then jumping back in there? Did you feel rusty at all, or were you just excited to get back in there?
I really wanted to play, and it felt very bad to watch the games from the stands. It was very nice to play again after the month, and it was, I think, 6 weeks. So it was a very long time. It felt really awkward at first to be on the ice, playing in front of fans, but I think we have the best fans, and it's great to play in front of our fans.
We were down 5-0 at that point, so you can only live up to it so much, and I think I was just more fired up trying to get the boys back into the game.
Mm-hmm. What do you have to do as a defenseman, kind of out there, really getting that atmosphere going and keep these guys moving? And as a freshman too, there's a lot kind of in this rebuild right now. A coach likes to talk about is progressing day to day. And what are you doing to help these guys progress day to day and kind of lead the way?
Well, I mean, we just all have to hold each other accountable and do all the little things right. I mean, we work hard every day in practice, and if someone misses a pass, we have to step up and tell them to figure it out.
A lot of people think about offensive defensemen or offensive-minded defensemen, what the work they do in the offensive zone, but how important is it, the work that you guys do, the defensive zone, breaking the puck out and through the neutral zone?
Well, the defensive zone is obviously the most important zone, so I think part of our structure revolves around the D zone, and a great breakout, good transition from D zone to O zone can really help the boys out. And I think playing in D zone, you could tell when we struggle in the D zone that the game is a harder game, and when we break out easy, it's a lot easier for us to score.
How confident are you with the puck on your stick? I know as a defenseman, sometimes it's not an occasion you get all too often. If you are, it's on the breakout. Offensively, how are you feeling right now, kind of getting that shot off and really generating offense from the blue line?
I mean, with the puck on my stick, I'm not trying to make too fancy of a play, but I'm not afraid to try to skate around a guy or something. But I mean, the objective is to eventually get up to the forwards, and if it gets back to me and I shoot the puck, then it's just a plus for us.
For you guys, do you feel like that second Notre Dame game was a 1-0 game throughout? Do you feel like you guys had enough chances to maybe tie and take the lead there? And is that where the frustration lies for this game?
Yeah, definitely. I think we had tons of chances, but we just couldn't capitalize on them. And Notre Dame is a great team, and they capitalized on our mistakes, so that was the difference in the game.
Looking ahead to this weekend, another road trip, a couple of rinks you've never been to. What are the guys saying about these upcoming games?
Well, right now we're only really focused on Yale, and we know the corners are small, so we're making adjustments in practice, and I think moving forward we're just staying prepared for Yale, and then once that game's over, then we move on to Brown.